Part number 15 of Project 308 is coming at you now. I'm Lou Trocce. This is my 1978 Ferrari 308 GTS. So as I mentioned earlier, I've got to get the Ferrari off that hoist because the fellow is coming to fix that hoist today. So I got to move the Porsche outside, put 3 wheels back onto it, and then floor jack on the right rear corner where the suspension is already out of it. And we just have to slide it back about 6 or 7 feet, just to the back door. The guy, he's got to change the main cables in the hoist, and he doesn't want to take the chance of dropping a cable on the Ferrari. Pretty much every technician out there is familiar with this technique, namely using a floor jack to move an immobilized car. But obviously this one's a little special. So we're going to put a bit more grease in those wheels and make sure this goes as smooth as, you know, as smooth as it can. Guys, can I have all these for a push? I think you can see if I was to shut up. And this is the new guy, Steve. Yeah, we gotta work on his sense of humor a bit.
It was about time we hit the finish line. 8 points later, I wasn't winning at all. I was just further behind. Laid your hand, showed my cards. I took my talks right from your.
Notice how I'm hanging around working on the pickup truck, you know, never too far from the action. You know how it goes. Protective. So thankfully for me, the caliper I did on camera went as smooth as butter. Now the caliper that I did off camera is kicking my butt. When this spring is sitting here, its job is to push it that way. And then when you pull the cable pulls it. Once again, it should be locked, sitting on that little imaginary pin right there. And you pull it, and it should be activating the caliper right now. But if you look here, it doesn't actually activate the caliper until we get to the very end of the stop. In order to be able to move it, has to be well into the area where it's not going to be allowed to move. What I've done is I've bought some universal sort of pins, and we're going to route through there and try and find one, put it in there, reassemble, do some measurements before I reassemble, and see if I can figure out where the problem is with this caliper. Okay, using this one. 4mm spray. That was close. Let's give this one a try. Looks pretty close. I don't mind telling you, I don't like getting stuck on things. I really want to be past this stage right now. This is the second time I've had this caliper apart, and I'm trying to figure out why. See, now that it's there, it's working properly again. I was off for the week, so not much got done last week, so I'm a little behind. But you'll find that sometimes a break just makes life a little bit better, doesn't it? Refreshes you. Anyways, gonna start taking apart this left rear suspension, get the control arms off, get them sandblasted, get them ready for powder coating. Just repeat everything I did on the right side of the car, on the left side of the car. This is what we're doing today. Looking at this fuel pump, you know, it was just kind of sitting there hanging. The bolts weren't even tight, and it's not even its right location. Huh. But check out this self-cleaning car. Now, isn't that something? What do you think? Do you think these need to get changed? Wow, they're rotten. You'll be happy to know that it takes approximately the length of moving pictures to sandblast this arm. At least I entertained myself while saving you from boredom too. I've got a little bit of issue with this left rear lower control arm right here. As you can see, focus on it. There's a little bit of cracking in the support piece here, not in the arm itself, but right where the weld is. So I'm just going to go and weld that before I powder coat everything. Both arms are mostly clean right now. I've just missed a couple spots when sandblasting, so I'm going to head back to the sandblast cabinet and give them a quick little touch-up, make sure I've got everything. And then I'm going to powder coat them. Thankfully, my powder coating skills have gone from a firm mediocre to acceptable. Now, while powder coating powder is not deemed as highly flammable, you might find sometimes when it gives you a little kick. Oh, well, looky there. Both arms turned out really nice. Now to move on to other things. Let's take a look at the shocks that I got. These are the upper mounts from Unobtainium. Alright, I'm just going to take all those shocks and bits and pieces and throw them off to the side right now. Their assembly is not going to be part of part 15. The reason for that is because I've still got a whole bunch of work to do on the car. I want to remove all the brake cables, I want to remove the brake lines, and I want to clean everything up before I remount the control arm. I'm going to clean everything in the rear chassis area, going to paint, touch up the paint, paint everything, and then put the arms back on and the rear suspension. So it's coming. All right, let's take a look underneath the car. Focus on that. We'll get back to this in a second. This is the brake line that feeds the rear brakes. Runs along the left chassis member into this little T-block, up to the left rear flex line, and then down and across the rear chassis member to the right rear flex line. And now back to this butchery. I'm not sure about the rest of the world, but I know in Canada, this compression fitting on a brake line is illegal. With that in mind, all of this is going in the trash heap. On this right side chassis piece is the tube that carries the parking brake cable and delivers it to the parking brake lever mechanism. And those of you with the eagle eyes will have noticed a problem with that tube that I'll have to sort out. For the time being, this is all coming off though. Now I know, I get distracted easily. It's my squirrel-like tendencies. But it's all gotta get done, and to be honest with you, I'm doing a lot of cleaning and it is pretty boring, so I need a break from it. These weird looking contraptions are the hangers for the exhaust. They're going to come off and get sandblasted, cleaned and repainted as well. Alright, so this is the end of part number 15. I can't put anything back on the car until I clean this mess and detail it and paint it. So I've got hours upon hours. I've already spent a couple hours that I haven't recorded. I mean, it's pretty boring stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching part number 15, and do try and subscribe. I appreciate it. Leave a comment. All that kind of fun stuff. Anyways, part number 16 as soon as I can.